Okay. All right. Okay, là live. Và kết đầu với quay quần với đai với địa okay, okay gạo. Và yaran jam an mà tek tek. Quay ngu wo share video. They mà wo gen lo share chăng. Yan to live tene ko banya biel to live ko ja banya quay ko ja quay ko big band ba den. Và yin ke ko biro lo ba wo ko ni share the video. Chana go alo got ko ko kwany ko wo ya dang survey live the work le ke wo jana wo time ya dang ba wo ko ya dang chano to improve live da na padang is going smoothly pa ke chak ting ten ke we kwaj ko na we dai wo dia ya ran jang we am te ke cha got ten cha got le happy holidays on July 1st, July 4th, and then July 9th. They ran the theological ngo chin ke ga god ke ye holiday jo but in the July 1st a holiday Canada ngay ke in Canada North America for holiday number 4 a holiday the United States of America ja holiday 9 Independent Day in South Sudan ama ka kwa de karang tarpin tunu a condemnation the rancha god boy article bak ping ran bien loy charau to dun bi banya bialen loy charau bade nan kibla tin non lo bakku en ten pa holidays ke to ten Canada holiday de yin ade 150 years sana min goal independent de yin rod for United States of America blue celebration miak July 4th for America did 245 years a Luyan celebration yeah. Kegerun ka America ka mitin warba o 50 sana. Ama Canada ade 154 years. Yom kamis wan kideng lane July 1st. For next year Canada below 155. For US below 246 years. Ama July 9 South Sudan in independent day in 2011. So it's like 11 years July 9 boken. Pakai kaga cái zaman cái holidays so alo biran thì je ko holidays ngochi matek te kabana god ten cái padang for holiday first Canada ko bangi Canada ko lui celebrate July 1st wo United States of America ko lui July 4th when independent America ko yena chidi in South Sudan independent in July 9 we will celebrate so wo ko lui happy holiday yen we ba ke pol ko my colleague aba gam ran tong yen bi road by introduce the way ko bi we ba like live dan padang and then banya biala bi joben a coach welcome to jeng padang media allo ba jo ba la tun yen introduction yen lo ai ga kan fa yin most welcome thank you very much
شكرا لك نتك تك مشكور لك وانا بشكرك شديد على اجل اللايف اللي عملوا الصباح ده. People started complaining all it can please Arabic and English and English يعني عشان لقطة ما بعرف زول بقول ما بسمعه كان ديكا المهم الميديا ده ما عنده مال واحد نحن بنتكلم عربي بنلخبط انجليزي شويه وندخل فوق دينكا برضه لكن المين
yeah it's good yeah introduce let them good even touch about my holiday when cha ko queen kana la ke ga dang
yes so انتوا الشعب اللي شايفين انا برحب بكم في Padang-Media على اجل اليوم ده يوم السبت عندنا جار دايرين نتكلم عنهم زي ما متك كتبهم هناك فوق او جارين في سكرين. We don't come here for no reason. هنا بنجي لما نشوف حاجة حصل في بلادنا أو في happiness ولا في birthday ولا في فرح كتير ولا في زعل ولا في قراء بنجي كميديا ونيجي نتكلم عنه. ما تكتب كتب holiday number 1 is what July 1st. July 1st, I will say happy Canadian Day, all Canadian in Canada, including me. I'm a Canadian citizen. I'm proud to be a Canadian. It's my second home. And then South Sudan was my first home. So I will share all the happiness. So I do live here. Or Anagati in Canada, almost 19 years. So ما صحيح أي محل أنت مشيت فوق ده لازم تكون جزء منه. So I'm a Canadian and I am proud to be a Canadian and I am a Canadian citizen. So نحن مقصودين وفرحانة في July 1st. So all to Canadian, happy Canadian Day. To July 9. We are waiting to be happy about South Sudan celebration. July 9, Homaja from the blue. Yani jo beta penati foko. Not madu, nene jerena machine chumal, men chumal not much back again to butches, back in much not Kenya, chaterna kullu fil alam, da kullu mushkila jinu. Ufinya lo rabbana fatah lena you know anligina achievement hagana. Why not? نحن بنكون مقصودنا حتى لو في ناس بتتكلم وقال والله الجنوب ده جولاي 9 المفروض يعملوا. انت لو قاعد في بيتك مع اخوانك موجود بتشاغلوا في دول بترد في حسره ولا في لو ابوكم الكبير لو مات بقول قال ما يعملوا سلبريت عشان انا بشاغل مع اخوي من يلا مام ولا يلا اخوان بيشاغلوا وبقول. سو بلد ليس بلدنا التعب تبنى فوق ده كجنوب ما في حاجه بفوتو ما في حاجه يجي الليل يقول قال والله يا اخي we don't want to celebrate the July 9. اكل لور تونات انا بقول كده بتونات اكل لور. So 64 tribe كل في جنوب السودان يكونوا مقصودين برغمهم تعبانين بمعيشه ده عشان يكون تعبان زي ده سناو ده ياو ناس within SPLM ده ياو ناس سناونا عشان شوت كان بتاع سلطه ده ياو جاب suffering ده. So we will celebrate ونين happy. حتى جال الكشف بتاعك ده سنون ما لسان بتاعك لو لسان ما تبينه غلط بعضه عشان هو ما تبينه غلط لكن ما بطلع من الخشب. قال يا انا والله انت كوتشيم والله تشمنا جيك جيك عليو تشبن بي it will not go nowhere. So انا بقول happy get ready to get happy حتى لو بقى مويه انت تكون مقصود كجنوبي. زي ما الناس بتاع نيانيا زمان بيقولوا قال فطورنا تمباك. ناس كان بياكلوا تمباك وبيعملوا celebrate and they are fighting a real war. So لو ناس بيجا شبانين الشبان ده ياو جاب مشاكل اصلا. المهم انا بجيب هناك اما كان وان the independent بتاع امريكان برضو جاي نحن مقصودين لانه امريكان ياو well police and they are dealing يعني هم بديروا العالم على اساس بالقوانين فلو ديمقراطيه حريه you know عشان كده امريكان بقى powerful. لو جينا بجد امريكا ما بتكون powerful than China. لو China وما كومونست او راجع ولا يوروب لكن عشان نازل هم تيجوا ضبط الدنيا وفي النهايه عملوا قوانين وقالوا تهد وقال we have to rule ourselves like this. عشان كده انتوا بتشوفوا صار يعني الراجل يغلب نفسه المرأة يغلب نفسه راجل وما في زول شغال فيه والله بس ماشي. ده الديمقراطية الدولة اللي الناس كله أنا أكوج ده في الجنوب يجي راجل لابس هاي جل ويقول قال أنا مرأة أنا بقبل كلام زي ده والله يوم بتاعي ما بقفل الدين كده. أنا بقول ربنا خلطاني أنا لما نخليك تكون راجل ولا لما نخليك يكون مرأة عشان تغلب نفسك يكون راجل. عشان كده ده حرية الكواجات عدو لنفوسهم يزول هرب نفسه وده يو sometimes rule ده معنينا كمغريجون ما بيجوا معنا ما بنقبله ما بكون they will not fit with us. لكن انت خليت بلدك جيت بلد زول can you respect زول في بلده لان ما بزول بيجي ببيتك قال لي change but لو جانا بتاعك ولا انت مشيت شارع وعملت change you condemn America المهم American, they will have a good celebration, and I am wishing them a best and happiness and enjoy. Gay or lesbian or whatever, you know, pull us all the right top. Ma bizol bu good coach mugalla da mai kun kida gaw cin na giye wala cin na di no ali, you know, dan da beledu mem da haja kan matakta kan khataw ko amrijne jayin fogo ben mam ne kalam batiri ana badi sharha wala le banya bielo kono badana bidi fogo da condemnation ta boy rol nya ya jama boy rol nya da nina fi zola la man kan gad fi ala nil fi rang bezat bi zaman ta fighting ta ayoda, we know what he did. Boy rol he abused our people around. Even commissioner at Biona ada kafir kap da te commissioner kurais ku arkan taje da mun masal bled el commissioner agla min el rais taje fi balad the counter commissioner, so lo commissioner gal ana ma der el rais taje da bagayro tawal salfakir basma kalam lakin shu boyrol nyangam chunu badu zol kap zol tamalu wa mul incitement le nasna na da bialangal kan kadolo yo mata da boyrol nyang yamul connected, so he was already within, you know. Achan kide nadna ferang yo mata amul report le malongawan ko amul report hatta finya zol boyrol nyang da gairo ha chub la man wodo konti da bika kef ma bika mor benes belew yaw full janda ma na fama jalo barkadal ma na fama finya bika shunu muj gapadu katapude jidal wodo juba te basa yatla men sejil uyam chile malonga wan yugu zalan uyugul nina derina padanga achani limu maana ni chaka mada haja mulele fi sijin nina arfin bugul gal zo gal lo dakhal fi sijin bita junub lo dakhal rajul tamur mara nina inda na sabab fogo lo cha zalana chani amul tamur di yugul lena gal ya lim yedena maana na ta padanga khale ni chaka akum bita gina gairu nina dakhalna fi sijin nina firan ma dakhalna fi sijin يعني ضرب راسنا هذا الناس كب عمل اي حاجه وفي النهايه لنا بانسانيه قلنا يا جماعه زول شيلوا يا اخي شيلوا مننا يلا ربنا يعني شعب المسكين بتاع بيلاندا ربنا سمانا شالو طيب الحاجه ما تكركر ما هناك في بنتي ولا لما ودو بارغدال وجراج بارغ وغبل دخلوا سجن ومرق سجن ده مشكله هنا ده ما مشكلتنا عشان كده ما في زول بس ما كلام بتاعه لو قال يا غني دايرين شافا بدان عمل تمرد جون هاس ما في وو بتاعنا ده كله كايلور ده كله كده منه انا مقصود لانه هو بس ما رتان دينك لانه قال هو من دينك زول كلا يسمع Padang-Media condemn your letter. We don't want to hear it and we don't want to see it. Lo dairin namul tmorod nina ka Padang, we know in the Nagabat benokon tamar raga na brana lo hukuma da lisa ma da yamul pollution wa jadal bisir garin kalamano da lekin abji zezo rol boy rol nyanda gal ya Padang limu mai kaw wala da wolle rotana bata badel wolle yin kire ya rafana banya biala. I will stop there and then you take over.
All right, first of all, good morning. I mean, good afternoon, good night in Juba, good afternoon in North America, also in Australia, and all the viewers of Jing Padang. I greet you. Good to join us. We are always happy that we have viewers that will tune in to listen to the issue that Jing Padang are raising. The topic that we are discussing today, as I said, from the holidays of the country that we became a second home to most of us, we South Sudanese, the both country, America and also Canada, that we have celebrated the holidays. But I will just mostly focus on the condemnation of the letter from Padang leaders. The reason why we are condemning this letter, I mean the article that was written by Boy Rolnyang. The history of South Sudan tell us that when you lose a power, you almost turn a way of rebellion as a mean of coming back to the government. And this has been, a trend in South Sudan politics. Most of those rebel leaders that are today fighting for the so-called regime change in Juba, they were part of that regime. They participate in mismanagement of the country, and when they lose their seat or they lose their power, the only option is to go to rebellion and urge the innocent civilian to join them so that they can fight and be returned back to the government. The reason why we are condemning this letter of Boy Rolnyang, it is what is addressed specifically to Jing Padang and also to Upper Nile State. But I will speak on behalf of our communities that Boy Rolnyang addressed this letter for. Boy Rolnyang called for Jing Padang to join a rebellion, armed rebellion, to fight the government of South Sudan for objective of regime change. And that is the reason why we, as the leaders, as myself as the leader of Jing Padang in Canada, and my other leaders in North America, Ben Wilson will join us later. And also we are speaking on behalf of abroad Jing Padang in South Sudan. We are condemning the call to single out this tribe so that they can join the call for regime change. Boy Rolnyang, we will not join an armed rebellion to fight for the regime change in South Sudan. Our people will not turn the guns against the innocent people of South Sudan. Our people will not succumb to your call and hear from you. But as we condemn this letter, I will also send a message to the government of South Sudan. Because the people like Boy Rolnyang, whom we know his track record very well, that after he lost the credibility when he was put in jail, when he was actually stripped from his high rank, and now decided to rebel against the government of South Sudan because, not because he's interested for the regime change, but because he was stripped from the rank of the military to the rank of, caporal, to the rank of actually private, and then to the civilians. And that's what makes him not unhappy about the government of President Kiir. When he was part of the military fighting against the rebellion, he has never called for the development of South Sudan. He has never called the government, actually, in which he was commanding in rank, so the people of Upper Nile can have a better clinic. He has never talked about a good road. He has never talked about mismanagement of resources. He has never talked about the bad system of President Kiir in that he called out today. So my fellow countrymen, I want to tell you that we Jing Padang, not because we are supporting this government because we fought for the independence of that country. All South Sudaners fought for it. But we see the only way out for this crisis is for the government of South Sudan to continue to implement this peace agreement and give the people of South Sudan a golden chance to go to the poll and vote for the country or for the president that the people of South Sudan will choose. And Jing Padang will join that wagon. And that's the reason why we are standing behind the government of President Kiir. Because as we speak, the peace agreement that is being implemented, we continue to hide the government and the signatories of that peace agreement to implement the peace agreement so that the people of South Sudan will have a peace of mind. We have suffered enough. Particularly Jing Padang have suffered enough in the Greater Upper Nile. We always feel victim when there's a disagreement in Juba. We always feel victim when there's a political disagreement in Juba. We always been marginalized in Greater Upper Nile because we are Jing. not because we were supporting the President Kiir government. Of course, President Kiir government also has a shortcoming that we will also address after I condemn this letter. By my message to Boy Ronyang, if you listen to this video, and I hope someone will share with you, is that we condemn your letter. The objective of the SPLM-IO that is part of the current peace agreement, and also the objective of the armed wing of Agolek is something known. Agolek is not fighting for the regime change of President Kiir, is fighting the Jing Padang. And therefore, Jing Padang is a very large Jewish community. If Jing Padang decided to rebel against the government of President Kiir, they are strong enough to stand by their feet and fight the government of South Sudan. Because we have a manpower. We have a political leaders. We have a people that can lead us. But that is not the way Jing Padang want to take. We are not going to take the road of rebellion. We are not going to rebel against the government in which our sons and daughters contributed massively since the beginning of the liberation. Yes, some of the points that are addressed in this letter are the same issue that took our people to the street in Malut, the call for development in the area, the call for better system of government, the call for having a good road, the call for having a good hospital, the call for having a better government in South Sudan and Upper Nile State, the call that our kids can go to a better school. These are the legitimate call. And I want to tell the government of South Sudan that your shortcoming of not giving people of South Sudan a development that they need, that loophole can be used by the rebel to take advantage and call for innocent of South Sudan to rise against the government of President Kiir. Yes, there's no school in South Sudan. There's no better road in South Sudan. There's no good hospital in South Sudan. But we know why there's no this road. We know why there's no good school. Because we were and continue to be in a self-inflicted conflict. That if the conflict is prevented in South Sudan, that if South Sudan went back to peace, if South Sudan has no fear of someone to come and actually attack you while you are cultivating in your farm, while you are in your houses, if we give all the rebellion and reject the rebellion and give the peace a chance, I think the government, the SPLM-led government, can think twice of what is more important, why they should continue to be supported by the people of South Sudan. Well, why we are supporting you is that the peace that has been signed, you know, that is not a better peace, but at least is a peace. We know that it's not 100% peace, but at least it's a peace. It's a peace that because now we speak, there is silence of the gun in most part of South Sudan. But I want to urge my people of Upper Nile community, especially in Upper Nile and Ruang State and Greater PG, that the internal conflict that is actually going on between the SPLM-IO, Chief of Staff, and its chairman, if it boils to a new rebellion in that part of the country, the most people that will be affected by that conflict will be our people, will be the people of Upper Nile State. Because Simon Garwij continue to have an alliance with the Agwelek, with the Johnson Olin, in which his own motive is known to all of us. The motive of Agwelek is not something that any sons and daughter of Jing Padang cannot turn his back against it. And for that reason, Let us not be blindfolded to join the rebellion that was called because of someone's unhappiness. Royal Bolnyang joined the rebellion because he was not happy with the government of President Kiir. He was not happy because he was demoted to the private and then to the civilians, and that was took him to be part of the armed rebellion. And so many those armed leaders that are actually today trying to champion the call for reform change in South Sudan. They were part and parcel of that government. They contributed into the mismanagement of the resources of South Sudan. They participate in mistreatment of our people. So I'm urging all of you, let us not succumb to that call. Our objective, the people of Jing Padang, is to see South Sudan a better place, a peaceful country, a country that you will be respected because of who you are as a citizen, as a law-abiding citizen, not because of where you're coming from. But as a South Sudanese, we all need to work together. Jing Padang, our objective, and we heard from the overall chairman, the chairman of Jing Padang, that the government of South Sudan has been good in terms of security of our people, and therefore, and that's the reason why we continue to support them and continue to stand by the government of South Sudan, because if they are willing to implement that peace agreement and give the people of South Sudan a chance to go to the poll and vote, then Jing Padang will always stand by them. Because we need a peaceful, democratic change in the government of South Sudan. So this is what, I'm not going to talk that long, but I won't call the government of President Kiir that you fail to develop some areas. You fail to have a developmental goal in South Sudan. Your government failed to have a better school in South Sudan. Your government failed to have a good road in South Sudan, a better drinking water, a basic service to the people of South Sudan that can be used by the armed rebellion to actually convene people of South Sudan to rise up against your government. Because most of your senior government officials continue to have their kids abroad, not in South Sudan. And there's a saying that say, where your family is where your heart is. Therefore, those government officials that actually continue to have their kids in the neighboring countries, they go to better school, they drink a good water, they go to good hospital. How will they focus on making sure that the innocent people of South Sudan have been given their services? So, ladies and gentlemen, but Jing Padang are not going to be part of Bol Nyang rebellion or call for joining armed rebellion as a community, but not as an individual. And that's what prompted us to come to live video to condemn that article, because he addressed it specifically to this community of Jing Padang. Well, we condemn your letter, we condemn your call, and we know your track record, what you have done to our people when you were actually, commanding area commander in Upper Nile State. So I'm not going to prolong my speech, but I've talked enough to make sure that Jing Padang has a unified voice to reject the call for joining an armed rebellion as a community. And Brother Thorn, welcome to Jing Padang Media and also the rest, and those who will join us later. But specifically, I was going to focus mostly about this letter of Boy Ranyang. Thank you.
In Bill, thank you very much, and also thank you for coming, Tony Chul. And the rest of the people, I share the link there, and you can be able to see the link at the title of Padang Media. If you have a problem also in link also through your messenger, okay? With check later. Ton welcome to Young Padang-Media. Topic one cái
Thank you.
jam okay. To ka cái ja lôi share na fi holiday. To cái holiday the Canada on July 4th. Then cái holiday United States July 1st. Canada July 4th United States, and then July 9 is independent of South Sudan. With your condemnation a letter, can I believe you know more than about this letter? And then cái có cái có bố cái jam tin tonight. In bagam time ballot wing. Now they candidate about the letter can ran chida BL ready ten. And then the holidays they easy turn around and I don't think there is any question on it. But yen in jaloi welcome can cái time to yin no bajala twing.
كويس. أبيض one more Daniel. First of all, I would like to pass my greeting to South Sudanese who are going to watch this video and who are watching now this live video. Good evening, good morning, and good afternoon. My special thank will go to Uncle Abiel Bialakun and Mr. Matektek. Not forgetting also our teacher, quite did. You guys, you are doing great job, man. You are doing great job. I really appreciate that because Bible بيقول شنو زول عمل حاجة كويس وهو بشكره. So you are doing great job. أنا قبل كنت أجي لأن لقيت ورق بتاع رونديال رونديال. أنا لقيت قبل هو كويس عشان نحن كجماهير بتاع بدن جماهير بتاع مناطق القبيل ذكرهم. ده حقيقي بدانا نحن نوقف مثلا نوضع الموقف بتاعنا في زمن زي ده. Our position is very clear. زي ما قبل أنكل أبيل تكلم وكوي كلام فوقه. طبعا بوي وزول عسكري ورفضوه في الجيش قالوا منه دوابير يعني بيقوا مواطن زي أي زول. بوي لو داري يعلن مثلا الحرب بتاعه داري يشاكل مع أي زول مع حكومة داري يشاكل مع معارضة أيوه داري يشاكل مع الحركات المصليين اللي قاعدين في جنوب السودان هم خير يشاكلوا يلقى دا من وين يجيب من خرطوم يجيب من أي مكان ما عندنا له دعوة. لكن المشكلة لما نيجي يذكر المشكلة بتاعه أهداف بتاعه إنه ما يشاكل عشان إنه في ثروة في النيل مثلا الناس قاعدين يستفيدوا في مكان تاني. أنينا كفدان أنينا
He has difficulties. I think he will join us back. Welcome, Ben Wilson Lual. He will come now, but then we'll give him a chance again to finish his point of view. The other thing we want to add into this Matektek is a call for Jinga Padang, the ongoing league that is happening actually, the call for fundraising from all Jinga Padang sub-community leaders here in diaspora to support the tournament of Jinga Padang League. We need to add it later on as a part of discussion, but this is a call to specifically to Jinga Padang leaders and also to the members, especially in diaspora, Canada, America, Australia, and elsewhere, not and also the leaders in South Sudan to support that tournament that was been happening. It's a community-based tournament. We need to support them financially. We need to to stand by our youth as they try to know themselves, have a unity among themselves, and play the greater role. Yen Ton Chindokin, you can take it from here. بجي كله جبهة السلطة بقى.
اوكي ثانك يو. سوري بس في حاجه اسال في زول لسه قاعد يدق لي بتليفون هنا. اكو بيا له انتراف لكن از اوكي. I tried to block him وانا قلت له بلوك. زول داير مثلا لو في زول داير يعمل انقلاب ولا يوم مثلا داير يعمل حركه بتاعه عشان يشاكل مع الحكومه. نينا كمواطنين ده فدا ما عندنا مانع مثلا انت داير تشاكل الحكومه يابا تشاكل معك. لكن المشكله للاسف حاليا كبير حاجه مثلا ممكن بخلينا نتكلم ده سبب اسمه شنو البوي. حاجه بخليه مثلا يمشي يذكر اسامنا يذكر اسم رang يذكر ملوط يذكر كورفلوس باليت يقول لهم يذكر اكوكا يقول لهم انتوا خليكم اقودوا ما تخافوا اننا ماشيين نشاكل برضه انتوا ضموا تعالوا جيبوا لي دام ونشاكلوا معكم ده. اننا طبعا عارفين في بلدنا نعم اننا كمناطق الفدان المناطق اللي فيه بترول اننا ممكن نقول في تضرر قاعد في فوليوشن في فوليوشن قاعد و نينا قاعد نتكلم يوم من في ميديا ده قاعد نتكلم برا يعني في فوليوشن قاعد ودير له حل حكومه وشركات العاملين انه يحلوا يعملوا تريتمنت واحد. نينا قاعد نتكلم عن موضوع ده بيسك سيرفيسز زي مدارس زي شوارع. قاعد نتكلم عن موضوع ده مويه وكهرباء وعلاج طبيعي. ده جاي نكون قاعد نتكلم فوق يوم وجاي نكون قاعد نتكلم بطريقه سلميه peaceful way. بس دستور جنوب السودان قاعد يدي حق لمواطن يطالب حق بتاعه بطريقه كويس بطريقه سلميه زي ما شباب في مولود كان طلعوا مظاهرات قبل كم يوم وهم كان قاعد يطالبوا بطريقه تمام من غير موت. اول حاجه من غير ما زول ثاني يموت مثلا من غير صوت تلقى كويس من غير مثلا دمار كويس من غير حريق مثلا بترول ده يحرقوا. ده هو طريق مثلا دول كل شغالين بيه في العالم. اوكي الرونديال طبعا مو عشان انه يجي يقول يعني البوي يجي يقول خلاص انت تضم عليه انتم ماشيين ونجي نشاكل حكومه. حكومه ما ممكن مجتمع يشاكل مع حكومه. نحن كفدا ما ممكن نكون جزء من كلامنا اطلاقا. الثروه اللي قاعد في مناطق بتاع فدا نحن عارفين ده ثروه بتاع جنوبين كله. البترول في اي دوله ده ما بتاع مجتمع. البترول ده بتاع جنوب السودان كله. جنوب السودان الماسك رئيس الفقير. لكن المواطن اللي قاعد بيكون عنده حق مثلا بيكون عنده شير بتاعه بيكون عنده شير بتاعه. الشير بتاعه انا ادونا له في اتفاقيه 3%. طيب 3% ده لو ما قاعد يجي عندنا حق حقيقي نحن كمواطنين بتاع مناطق المنتج بالبترول كويس نطالب بحق بتاعنا بطريقه. اول حاجه حتى لو مثلا بدانا نفتح بلاغات كويس لوزاره مثلا ولا الناس اللي يدينهم في قروشنا نقدر نطلعوا قروش ده بنطلعوا قروش ذاتها. حكومه ده بنقول الناس حكومه ده بتطلع بلاغ حكومه بنفسه ذاته بتطلع بلاغ في بلاغ واحد في افريقيا ممكن الناس تخش معاكم معه. ممكن في بلاغ برضه الناس حتى في جوبا سواء السودان سفرين كود ممكن الناس تخش معه وانتوا تطلع حق بتاعكم. طيب زول اسمه بوي عشان انا مثلا نيجي يتكلم عن الموضوع بتاع ان نحن نضم ونشاكل مع الحكومه. نحن كفدا كويس كلامه ده بندينه بشد اللهجه. نحن ما جزء من اركاد زدل. نحن كفدا ما نقول يقوم من مكان ما فيش ويجي يقول مثلا ده يجي يسوقنا كويس وعشان نحن ماشيين نشاكل مع الحكومه. الرونديال والبوي ده كان في رang كان غايد بتاع ديفيشن 1. حاجات بوي يعمل في رang في مناطق بتاع في النيل كله حاجات كاب تماما كويس. هو كان مستخدم سلطه بتاعه مثلا كبوي غايد بتاع الجيش ينهب عشان ينهبوا ممتلكات بتاع الشعب. كان قاعد ينهب اراضي بتاع ناس بنى بيوت في رang كويس. اخر مره مشي يشاكل مع محافظ ده الرئيس بتاع الامن رئيس الامني في مقاطعه شاكل معه. دور بوي ده هو بوي ده يعرف ناس رang ويعرف ناس مولود يعرف ناس باليت وناس اكوكا بيجي ناس كويسين من 200 ولا يعرف الناس بدأ بيجي ناس مهمشين من 200 وكان قاعد في رang سنين في حكومه. ده كان قاعد في حكومه. اذن يا جماعه المشكله بتاعه المشكله واحد من غايدات بتاع جنوب السودان. زول لما يطلع لما كيك يشيله في يده يعني بيجي ما عنده لقمه بتاع ايش مثلا في كشمه. ده يوم زول بقدر بقول حقيقه يعني ده يوم الوحيد زول بقول حقيقه انه والله في حاجه كاب قاعد يحصل في بلد كويس، وفي تاميس قاعد يصل عشان ايش شالوا في يده. لكن زمان لما كان في حلقه، لما كان قاعد جوا حلقه كان قاعد يلعب مع ناس كان ساقطين ما قاعد يكلموا. عشان كده من مو ناس زي ناس رونديال كوي كيدي رونديال عشان كوي اللي بيقول لك هنا خالص اطلاقا ان ما ممكن نمشي ورا الناس زي ديل. هنا كبدان ولا فكرنا بموضوع ان دايرين نشاغل الحكومه ده كويس، ولا فكرنا يوم واحد مثلا نمر ضد شعب جنوب السودان، ولا في يوم مردنا، ولا في يوم فكرنا مثلا نقتل شعب مواطن جنوب واحد زي كده عشان موضوع بتاع اراضي. ما في يوم واحد فدان قام فوق وهاجم بيوت الناس عشان مواطن جنوبي يموت بيدن فدان. ما اصل اطلاقا بتاريخ بتاع فدان، ما اصل اطلاقا، وما كلام ده ما يصل بيكوز نين اوريدي الشباب جايين والناس كبار اللي قاعدين عندنا طبيعه كويس نين قاعدين بيه من زمان. ده واحد. عشان كده كلام اللي قالوا بوي ده اي عباره عن حاجه مكتوبه ورق كويس، ونقول له ورق ده يبلوا بمويه ويشربوا. نين ما ينلم اي حاجه خالص كويس، يمشي يبلوا وينشلوا الناس يمشي يشغل بهم الناس اللي هم بيمشي بيجيبوا ماء خليهم يمشي جوبا زي ما هو قالوا. لو هو داير مثلا يغير حكومه ده، ولا مثلا انه يمشي يطلع حق بتاع مواطنين ده، يعني لو كان قاعد يتكلم عنه بوي ده ما ممكن يتكلم. نعم بوي ما مرق في 2013، لكن بوي ده بنفسه اجارو كان قاعد يعمله. بوي كان قاعد جوا كويس while he was supporting Riek Machar inside. الناس كان قاعدين جوا حتى لما قعد تاجي شعبي لما هم مرات لما يحاول مثلا يمشي يهاجم المناطق بتاع الريبل كويس، ناس بيمشي بقى في همبش. وبوي يعرف الكلام ده. الرهي المروم جونجليو عارف الكلام ده. هم عارفين انه مثلا اجار هم كان قاعدين جوا، هم قاعدين يخططوا عشان ان المواطنين دل عشان اساكر اجي شعبي. كل ماركه البوي شالوا زمان، كل ماركه اللي هو ماشي فوق ماركه ده الناس بيمشي امور فوق. ده واحد. اي رقم منين بوي لما بابور او جونسون ولن جا مولوت كويس، بوي نام جا سوا زول بدو حق بتاعه. بوي جا لكن جا كحكومه، مو ما جا براو كبوي، جا كحكومه. وده شغل بتاع الحكومه انه يعمل بروتكت للمواطن، وده حق بتاع الحكومه يعمل بروتكشن لموارد بتاع الحكومه. هو بترول، البترول ده كان قاعد يدافع عشان ده موارد قوميه. يعني ده بوي ما جا عشان مثلا ان البترول اللي قاعد في مولوت، ولا البترول اللي قاعد في فالين مثلا، ولا في بانارو. ده بتاع ناس بانارو لا. هو جاي انه هو عارف ان البترول اللي قاعد في فلوج ده بتاع حكومه، هو جاي كزول بتاع حكومه نفس الزمن ده. لكن بوي ما ينسى. بوي لما هو ماشي اساس ما هم ضربوا بابور لما ضربوه كان ما بوي براو. يال المنطقه ميركباي اكراتين كويس، وركان جيجا ابيض كويس، وركان جيجا ابيض وركان اقل جاس اكراتين كويس، اكراتين تونغني كان قاعدين في شكله ده. وانا شكله اللي كان اصل في مولود ما بوي براو كونفل ما يمشي لبوي اطلاقا كويس. بيقول بوي ده لما هم يرجعوا سرقوا جات في مولود. هم ديفيشن بتاعه لما هم راجعين شالوا جات بغير بتاع بوي رون ديال شالوا جات ومرقوا في مولود، سرقوا مدرجات بتاع مواطنين نازل كان جروا بموضوع ده بابور. اذا بوي ما انسان له حق مثلا انه يتكلم بلسانه بتاع فدان، وما عنده حق يتكلم بلسانه بتاع الناس المعمشين في مناطق بتاع مولود اكاكو ورang باليت وفانارو كله. ما عنده حق اطلاقا، ما عنده حق يتكلم مثلا بلسان بتاع كورفلوس. بوي ده لما الناس كانوا قاعدين يقتلوهم في كورفلوس في بالي لما الناس قتلوهم هو كان وين؟ بوي ده البوزيشن بتاعه كان وين في نفس ده في نفس الزمن ده. بوي نحن بنقول له منين في لايف فيديو ده انت يا بوي ما تلعب بنار، ما تلعب بنار. يقول لك مكان مثلا انت تمشي تلقى فيه الناس. اما هو ده نحن ما ممكن دو ما تخدمت ko bala koy kan kapadang modin kapadang ban kuja koy kan our elders kuja leaders ana siasa ayto ay koy who know maybe for ranachol boy da ko bi siasa toy ko bi to yoni kan bagya ni nin boy cha ran nang mushil go wes biyo banja mo ko nyuti biyo banja godi yote belem go banja temrut belem يعني ما بنقبل بوي إذا ما ممكن نخليه يمر ونقول له خلاص امشي شاكل مع زول ده شاكل معه وفي اي منطقه هو داير يمشي فوق وداير يعمل فيه غايب بتاعه كنا كو اغبا بوغلا كوي كبدان بن نو بدان توكين ان ايغون كو بي غايب دين لويتين كتوب كيتين كتوبين بوي ده ما يغور هناك مو من نوري يعني نوي لا بوغ دمان نوي تاو نوري كويس ran akin andi ni wor karai da mamu no mo fi vero ay guni lo yin كويس ashili birloy so wo ka chili buglu degas ne wo gupi ne boy alas acho mat wo shi be mat yema to كويس kiran le bo mat ni bilwele ne yana kajo we ku duni ko bu yen taren tip yang anong right pingene na mana ran li birai ranang man to ne yin kwampir on to jinu sudan ma yi mi ba kai we ba den to kulle le ngoi kulle le gar ka shabe كويس mi ko padang chi kai we ko chi to rar ka shabe ken ko chi to ba ken ken tiom ken awo kingu ngat wodin general ga din fiju bayna mumkin di tor ken ba كويس ali big to na ken ba ken we awlombar nora chi dengu ma dengu awlombar se jono fi juba bi sabab ne de nor chi nok de nor chi nok fi de nor chi nok fi falaj dengu chi nok fi falaj ma ka televizon kiran chi nok كويس لكن هم مصادفينه alu sadabo كويس ko bi riogren عشان بيجي ni rana ran ko bi kai we asmo kalam da كويس عشان بالله كسد بيراج ne ran kan ran ko bi kai we inu loigi lakin ci libir loy wo ga fadam a ci lubuk to ra kuma كويس ci lubuk to na kuma hakda bu kwanchok in peaceful way because wo ko wona munazamin wo buk la koy ka di wor kan won to firuwen koy won ci banen ci butur raj koy to fulo koy won munafiq al mujawirin kullu al faya muqadar nuna mujawirin kushi karan ke raj kushi butur ke raj ani agu no wo buru falben bu kada kwancho be triga pet nan ba yo wajiriya el bel dana kharab lakin hنا كويس هنا بنمشي بطريقه بتاع قانون حق بتاعنا بنطلعه بقانون دي طريقه وحيد ما في داعي عشان مواطن الجنوب ده يموت وبعدين زمان ده الناس يجي يموت في مناطق بتاعنا كويس نعم بضر كده الناس بضر كده يقتل الناس لكن لو قلنا مثلا ده نشاكل زياده وناس يموتوا زياده الكلام ده ما بنقبل الفوضى جايبينه برا ويزول جاي فوضى ده برا عشان هو يطلعوه في حكومه كويس يجيب لنا ما بنقبله خالد لكن ما بنقبله وبندينه كلام ده كويس بندينه كلام ده في لايف فيديو هنا وبندينه كلام ده مثلا في كتابات وفدان الغير في جوبل فدان الغير في جنوب السودان وغير كله في مناطق قاعدين في العالم ده كله نين رافضين كلام رونديال قالوا بوي قالوا بوي ده مجرم وعمل حاجات ما كويس في منطقه ودانا كراج لوي في باي كراج لوي بوي ران تكوي لوي هددو في دان تكوي يون ران تكوي بكوي ليم باي فندين بينا لا جادوان نجد وود بيري بي كين رجول كين موج باي رجول كين موج سو رانا ككبر طبعا في اندلاس jagale yo koy jeng o ngoro be o ngoro lu shar so wo ka piat bag ngoro le twen o bag e kene bu condemn o kaj ni sos ne jeng padang media ne ga jak piat lo ye kene because kene e foda wa chugulu bi gam ko bi bayre bi bara kan min jidit wes badin nora den anong ni badeg ni planning any planning this time ni wor padang ye bi kin riya kwan ki mashakale ako umid ka ko jig ban metala tano university umid ka ko bëgg metaler mu ke mata itane ina ko dan luy gatin wes asa halin mi na garke ya na gare bro
Chapa ka de chul, I think something wrong with it. Ay bejal ko, I think bill look ay bena mantino ko ja Wilson. Api ya ku ja Wilson alo ba la tuen jani pa ivenon wala lo bagam bill look wo taban wo jamo pa yawadia. Kam ngod ti kiton ben luter alo bi doctin. They ma chen ben kuna chike de tapai. Bo gamin Wilson. ai ton yin chiben yin te mai ka yin latwing na jato ka bugam
يا
ben
المهم
Wilson.
لا خلاص المهم كان جام ويلسون بس كده كده بقى نيو ده كده ويتشكل يو شكرا.
Ai ben Wilson alo bala twing dai mai chi work topic da wo nyon yal ten ko bade bilu ka ben kana boy ang de ne yel wele ko bi ko lui join ma kwa nyin ka jamir man taban wo ka galaran ko chila choba kuma yi ka bro be lo ke rebel ma kle ne usually so we ka bi en jo figure out de homework kan bi Wilson alo bala twing.
First of all, I thank you guys. We will mix language Arabic and English. Are you guys hearing me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. First of all, I will say happy July 4th of America Independence.
Tomorrow.
Which is coming tomorrow, but it's still, I want to do it in advance. And then I heard that Canada has its own date already fast, like July 1st. And then also our July 9th of independence of South Sudan is on the carnival coming. So
next week. Yeah.
I'd say happy holiday to all these three holidays. And then I will go to the main topics.
What about Canada? Birthday of Canada, July 1st.
I just say the birthday of you are not here.
Oh, okay.
The best day of July.
Yeah. Okay, can't be. Sorry.
Happy 1st of July to Canadian. Yeah. Happy July 4th.
And then another thing before I forget it. Kaban ke de ken habal wel tung jing de ke banka ne padang ke tau fi North America. Nim de ka mat bat soya bat talara sahar wala ba saat fitel conference. Ba we banka oto kita invited koi ko ka tujuan be inbox din through Facebook. Tam ki bak ben ba den bak da ben herli kan tu daman binyai. Kene announcement. Back to the topic. That the article wrote by Boy Rulnyang, specifically targeting the Jiang Padang counties or Jiang Padang people. Talk about Rang, we talk about Mulu, Takoga, Baliet, Kurflus. The guy know the area, and what make him to become a top general because of Padang son and daughter, where we have three different platoon or division. There is Bishop, there is Mugulum, and there is Guarbatrog. These all were pure Padang that make this guy to become strong. Plus these Jamus that were Iran. But look what our leader did. They always forget when they have a food to eat. They seem to mistreat people, and then they don't recognize the power of the people. Why you become more power is because of people. And also we can go back to the 90s. Give you a little bit. Riek Machar, when he was given Zajan 4, Zajan 3, when Jusuf Menineda, he went to Northern Africa, specifically Mulusera. We find those of Mudulum. They combined with that. They did a good achievement of capturing Mulut, and then they fight a lot. And then the Riek Machar, boom, he's become a very top commander because of the people on the ground. So the people who live in the northern part, they are not easy people when it comes to the fight, and that's why we don't plot of fight. We're fighting. We do fight with Arab very good. We do fight with our neighbors, but not often. But with Arab, this is where the Padang get their training. Before there was no Kalanchinko. So, Boy Rulnyang abused our people in a different way. And the reason Nuer is still proud now because they say, okay, those who were operating in Afrinal, they were all Nuer general. Of course, they were all Nuer general. But the military were not Nuer. I think the government put them there for the reason they know, which I am not going to talk about it. But the main power were not the Nuer because they were Nuer in the beginning. But when the rebellion become more tough, they will come and shoot people in the line. So the people try to separate themselves and say, no, we cannot, by our friendly enemy to shoot us within the same line we are working. No, it's not going to be happening. Now, we know he just left like 2 months ago. He joined Malone. General Malone too have a bad record with Padang. Yeah, that's the reality. Malone need to understand it. Because Malone is the one who gave the whole entire ammunition to Johnson Wulong, including 4 Baburat, and then the little boat, the speedboat. He hand all this power into this guy. And the element of Jing Fadang, who were in the military, senior officers told him, Malone, this guy is not to be trusted. Malone doesn't listen. We heard that he was given a girl. That's why he ignored us. Until the guy used the weapon against the Padang later, in Malakal, in Akoka, and then end up to be destroyed in Mulu. That's General Malone did that. General Malone too and Boyrul Nyang, they have a cooperation where they use the list of the old defected army, couple of thousand, to bring money in a military from Bill Farm. And then when the budget comes, this budget will go to their pocket. And they fail to give the money to the Awladal Billet. What the troll, what the Muslim al guide not. They will not give them the money. They use those money. They use the defected name of majority of the Nuer who defect and shoot. They still use that list to go and bring the budget in Bill Farm. And then abusing people who were fighting on front line not to give them money. It was the cooperation of the General Malone and Boyrul Nyang when General Malone was chief of staff. Also, when the recommendation came to promote the high-rank general, they both failed to recommend the Padang Son who were fighting with them. They did not. They take maybe few of them. Malone went far to his northern Barkadal and do a lot of promotion, and he left Padang Son here, never been promoted. And it was Boyrul Nyang was there, and Malone was there. They were all doing the same thing. And when Malud were destroyed, when Malone come and call Manyang to come and address people, I think Malone say well in a Dinka. I see it in television, it was televised in Juba. And I will say this in a Dinka language because that's the way it will sound understandable. I give a little way with Jing Padang, we will cheat ton of good to ton monum ton of good of wood socket. We can help a good equal in Miskela week. Kilmakin and Tiban a chuck one young and why pink quite because Chiban got at a quite the hotel. I can't kill my chicken and a pile of Corwell. A king walked around to Corwell. I walk a big man with you were. Kill my gun along with. The walk a tongue near wing of wood, but you to attack, will kill a near, will kill a crank. Comrade Boyrul Nyang, I am sorry you were there, but keep holding me Boyrul Nyang. I think I mean more Enyan Jim in a man and Yan treat my yardip. More than Yana quite but up into court for it. Need to a third on any key Paul, Miller Manania. The Kinikan on Kuji, no Dega Kaloi. You were double agents and you were accused of the 40 people of Rang who were killed between Majak and Jalhak because the IO across the river now they came and do ambush between Majak and Molbo. And they come and kill people there, 40 people, including Talatin, Unas Kubar, Utabalang, Jing the Padang, Utabalang. It was on your record. So, and that's why any leader need to learn. If you are a leader, wherever you are assigned, do the good thing to that community. You never know. There will be Black Day. Like this Black Day now, you are calling them. Most of you that to join you guys. Join you for what? Here what we are different than other communities. Young Padang understand the government long time ago that government is for people who cannot afford to work on their own hand. Okay, that's why we always don't see, to join the government and to be more corrupted people. No. And whenever there is confusion like that with the rebellion, we don't even bother for that unless you come and touch us. So yes, you mentioned a good thing. The good thing that you mentioned about the four service, social service, and the four road and the four, you were there. You never talk about it. You were there. And if you, the two protesting that has been done last year, August, or this year in June, that's why a lot of the rebels are talking, not you alone. Majority of the Nuer show we go, they are talking. And their main target, ya Jama, ya Junubin, you need to leave us alone. And the reason we don't trust anybody, because of the 2013 and the Wulong attack. They both people want to fight Akuma, then they cannot target Akuma, they will come and target because we are Pacific group or ethnic group. And that's why we cannot trust any rebellion, because we all know that the rebellion in South Sudan is a tribal rebellion. And there is a lot of evidence that we see on social media. Even Faganamum admit himself, he admitted by himself when they were in peace with Malone 2 months ago in Nairobi. He said that most of Nas and Sawa, they don't like the Dinka. It is not me say, it's Pagan say. And that's the reality. We need to be honest to ourselves. So if you want to wage your rebellion, and you want to think that we can join you, I don't think so. It's not going to be happening, because there is a saying, in Arabic, the shaitan, the shaitan ita arif de asen min shaitan ita ma barif. Anu fi shaitanin katir jarin fi gaba, anina ma harbinu. Asen lene shaitan akuma bitana corrupt ushunu. We know how we can deal with it. Lakin al shaitana del jude de, ana ma arif yukun shaitan. So we cannot just become and push us there. No, it's not going to be happening. For this calling, we condemning the Padang leadership. We condemn that one. We don't need to be used as a roadway to regime change. We know why everybody want to use us, because of the resource. And the same 2013. If you go to a lot of our neighbors' show, where they are still claiming, and that one we will bring it up again as a show, that the oil that government of Sudan are benefit now of South Sudan is to American and to Western world, that the war because of oil is in the Nuer land, which was lie. And they are still repeating it now, that the oil is in the Nuer land. Of course, there may be oil and everywhere in South Sudan, but they are not operated yet. But the facts and true, the oil that are operated right now are in the Dinka counties, not just Dinka land. Specifically in Malut County, Pariang County, and Abyei County. We know there are oil everywhere in South Sudan, but they are not operational yet. But there is the thing that we don't trust people, that they are still now coming back saying, oh, the oil is belong Nuer and this and that. And that's when I witnessed in 2014 here in the United States, when the State Department tried to move around asking people why the war broke out in South Sudan. One of the guys meet with us in 2014. He's a State Department. He's interviewing about the oil, where is the oil located, and why, who operate the oil, even though they knew that the oil, those who are operating oil is Chinese. They were interviewed. So happened to came and call us. 4 of us, we went there. And he told us, okay, the oil is happened to be in Upper Nile, and this is the Nuer land, and all this blah, blah, blah. Is that true? I say, well, yes, the Upper Nile is true. The unity state is true. It is because of the state, yes. But if you go to break down into county, you will see where the oil is located. The operational oil is located in Dinga land. By the way, the guy was having a map. You know, an American, when they are doing some kind of interview or research, they will come prepared. So I saw the map, and I told him that map of South Sudan. He said yes. I told him, can I see it? He said, okay, of course, go ahead. And he gave me the map. Because map of South Sudan or the old Sudan is mapped according to the counties with the names. So I took the maps, and then I saw Malut there, Pariang there, Abyei, and Unity State and all. So I point the fingers, those Syria that you thinking the oil, this is where the oil located. And those counties are Dinka counties. And then the Kawaja look at like that, he becomes serious because he was misled that the oil is in Nuer land. When he found out it was not true. The reason I bring this up, it is the same political rhetoric that going on now. Now, warning to our people or awareness, do not be sleeping. There was the interview with the Sudan Post with Garwidwal today too. I posted, you guys may see it. There is a rumors that Garwidwal has connection with those of Malone and Nas and all these things. And their main target, they want to regroup and then target that one. So I am calling for our young Padang to be unaware. The reason we become main target because of the resource. So our area always will be on alert whenever there are tribal militias or tribal rebels that who want to change the regime are moving around with the hatred toward the Dinka. We are telling our people to be aware. Garwidwal was asked today about his connection with the South Sudan United something front, and then with the NAS, and he denied them. Him and Johnson Malone, they have now connection, and that's why you see Garwidwal is now stuck. He don't want to declare himself as with his own new organization. He's still saying he's belong to the IO. So this is the message. You need to open your eyes. This thing going on in Meganis, their main target is our area. So I am warning you to be alert of this political, because what happened in South Sudan, I don't know what is wrong with our people, but we are believe whenever new thing come up, people will jump in without studying. We see when whoever married, when Thomas Rilo married Galu, okay, this is the blew up government, but Salva Kiir is fell down already. So it is the mindset of our people. Always they see somebody rebel today, they will think it's a window of opportunity, let us join in. So this rebel group, they are all a tribal group that no any person from the Dinka will trust them because their main target is Dinka. We know how they talk. So if you come to our territory, we will defend ourselves because regime change should go to Juba. There is a highway coming from Nimili to Juba, from Barakadal to Juba, from Bor to Juba. Anybody who think to do the regime change, there is no way that you can capture a regime. And that was, it took us 21 years. We captured a lot of towns in South Sudan, but did we capture Khartoum? No. You can capture any town, but the government with the resource, when he mobilizes itself, they will flush you out. So I will advise any rebel not to moving around the small town or the oil area. You need to topple the capital where there is where there is the president. That's how you will succeed. If you really rebel for regime change, don't target the innocent people. Okay. For these are my message. to my people of Jiang Padang in those 4 counties, including Fiji, 5 of them, you need to be aware. Anything that will come out from Maganis is going to be threat to our territory. So this is one thing. Another message to Kir Mayadit government. To be honest, President Key, you see now your weakness that you are not providing the people that living on top of oil, and you leave them like that, it will be used by rebel. And you never know. A human is a human. If you see there is no outcome, you may end up, people can be brainwashed because of the negligence of the pollution and they provide the service to the people, road, school. So you need to open your eyes now. Whatever you agree last month, I will advise you in order to stop all this nonsense. Recruitment, whether in Unity State or in Ruwing or in Abyei. These are the main target now for the rebel. Either they will watch people to recruit people to join them or do whatever they want. So I am advising you, your failure will be used against you unless you provide the service to the people. So this is my message to you, government. And from here, I can rest my case, and I will repeat it to Boyrol Nyang. We are not going to join you. You have a bad record with people of Padang, so we cannot join you because you fail us a lot of things. You happen to slap the commission of rank. You happen not to promote our son and daughter who were in the military. You happen not to give them money. You all bring the money in Juba, and the money will go back to Juba. So there is a lot of things that you done. And that's his message. Anybody who want to rebel, do not call this Pacific. Call the whole entire South Sudan. I know you call some of Maban County, you call the area of Shilluk. But your main goal, because you are familiar with Padang people for being there for the last 5 years, and you think they can support you, but you neglect them. And that's why I say my message to anybody in the Tulta for South Sudan should really know that wherever you are deployed, be good with the civilian. So with that being said, I will rest my case here, and I thank you guys, and I thank those who are watching.
Bugamin and Enshan to go ahead and briefing us a topic than Indian. But today, Ran Jiben look at quite some is still there. I don't know. And suit is okay. But Bill look bala twin until we give the chance to other people.
Daniel, can you give it to Samuel Aru? Give it to Samuel Aru because of his connection.
Local time.
Oh, go ahead.
Yes.
No problem.
Okay, kalat lot wing Samuel Aru lanu bilu ka ben after you
Samuel
lanu chabaga.
too low, brother.
Chabaga do you na chi belu lewo lu ya na whole ba den 1 hour or two.
Yeah. Ninja man ben. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Bill. No problem.
Kalat bilu go ahead. Chabag do later but then it's okay. I know opportunity. Pa bilu ay alo bala twing go ahead.
Okay, we're pinging.
Yeah.
We bang it. Piang again, a dick.
Yeah, clear, yeah.
Okay, a dick, we back with more Daniel, the legend, the more, my banya bill, one my mother coy, ja ban Wilton, who ja in ban Samuel, ben chin ben, here and Anto Juba, in Chuglor, Queen Chugley, in the man one chin in Nom, ben. ka yo pen dun ga ko man ko shik to wek ma te ga ya ke we chap dan de jing fa dang dai ku ja junubin ko to ten happy July 4th to we ko ko to America, and happy July 1st to Canadian, and happy July 4th to American. Ka yoke weekend ta holidays ke nation ka kero ku ke jiren len che ta ja ku ke tok loy so yen ga yo ko je lew ki ni me kol quran ban amit pio di celebration bi loy big holiday de be ko on kero wa yen be safe out there holiday healthy drive safely if you are traveling, otherwise message ba marwe ka bi look work ba ke leg message tin ko we jing dan padang ta go there wala ya ke junubin ko there no covid-19 ni chol delta wave abe loin tani so message tin le week chan baga cautious enough as you are gathering out there all day kaki a weekend kene so we go with baga cautious na chi in tom ka pet lakini ran ki tom ako be watch out because yen delta wave kene when a type of covid-19 kene very deadly chi chikawan doing original one kene so kene ka divide le we ke chan bangi because ke kaunte ke kwen do mantine akene man to America ne ko chi kariya ka chin big gathering di bro loy lakin twan kene je bel loñ min jidit so we keep ourselves update chan bangi ko ko ne junubin dai ai chan chak brod be ko palwe bran bi mat bita on social distance distancing below obey wa kenen ke tin marwe yen no ben topic dan jiem ok tin ko jing fadan ke tong ni kidi ka fay chagen baynyal with the sense of emergency etong ni kidi ka fay in banya biel ko banya coach ko tek je ya banya wilton ko gen baynyal ko jing fadan ka yok ci general role nyang ci luil actually surprising to me ki ci luwa ga su du jing fadan dai ke yen madarar wan ga lorot lang no oil area ke ga wit bene ga situation ben ke luwa bene luwa exploited acha na go ko cham nim ko bi ko won ci ga theoria wat ci mi in luwa samam bi ke cham nim ko bi ke wel nim ago ke loy big den kwan big en luwa join ke den loy ka yogen ke gaside so takati kene ke siezi work by wa ayen ayoga che surprising ake biok lai ke buk yo ben lewe ko we cha be jing padang gulel ko e ki chiran tui chorol nyang lewe ke lwet cha ko wi ba thing ne kene a chan ke glen dom we bet a chin gata tin ayen a wi ba del no ma ya ke yen ko wan chak lo chan nim e werente chin yok chen pin dun samamu wakin piu dik dak ke achin kar bataw achin to kul dik taw achin matach pa dik taw kriye ban achi taw nyinde kwa kene ene ye ko unte motomorodin ene gen yogunu they have to take advantage of county moton cheryo yo wala chabam na padang to pi maluzeri walang reng walang balit walang tiji lang korplut bi ke loy siez yunu yan bigar wise up again the government ku big dang kwan big ran no rol nyang gran big lo join wala ran ti man tawon ten ran ne chol gar wi dol to kene inke gased kwa yin padang kene ke message ko bule we gnu ako baga watch out don ke kene blow wa ya angi ku we ke pior ya garet wo wi jo ka we aman wan chak lo chanim jing padang media ben bi ku ka we ko ka we throughout lakini ya lule yin government na jinu Sudan in katen da na rebel in katen ko kaju hukuma da ku loyalty da ku patriotism ne ku nyuot ka yoga shi government na jinu Sudan a ci dede e mane jinu Sudan u jaka yentin ayira ande ka dalen pa na jinu Sudan a ci ranu ne ka de thing actor mino ko jing pada a cha no go ngike ko patriotic ko ge loyal citizen wone ko pikulu ayi hukuma international kwa ko juan ke jo hukuma in ka ko wa no lo chani nde ga dan to yo fyo do jing padang o ke kwa nyudang ku kai ku we ka da ku loy e ku e wone yen loy be demokrasia we believe in democracy kuna lu kuran ta for ko kiriyo ji yen ko ken la we ka ke jam ka we ma fatayin because o chen na ngi ko jing fada o che ko je ti ay hukuma kwa chin ge ye ko loy e ken wa jing fada ene le wo ga message ken ayira na rebel ko bo cham ni ule we ga back side e ken ak jay lakini e ko le ka dalo ko fada abu ga le hukuma da ku nyot ku nyin la yin hukuma ken a chuk man e manal ba ro ti jale ba le yen hukuma ta jinu Sudan aya le jaret ka ye bi le lu ko ngoka leje a chan yin fadang de ki riyo fyo yine lo chanam ku lo fortet a chiro lo yi on ko fi Junu Sudan why kunu ngera nan lo ene on ko fi Junu Sudan ke rana lo mo la bullet because the ran kene ke ko ke nuo wona ne gatka ke dang men kwan to government Junu Sudan ye nuo nu e tried in jing fada a chan o go ke da ye ku nuo open li ran yin ko ke kwa nyidang bu ran nyon nyinda ke da ko lo el be ganun akene nga ko wan ci government ci protest on ci kon lo lazi a ci ok ben pien gada kene ka lay le hukuma e wan chak be lo chana hukuma ki dang ki wel so we a ci hukuma dan Junu Sudan ci ok le ku ka yugo duna ci pin akene ka yo ke wata yin jing fada so yin ku taw ki jing fada ku de ka dalin pyo chinin cha taw a chin ma tej fadi taw a chin gona ga di taw a chin karba taw ku pinda ki lo na daba lo sanitize wachi oil chene rio ekene ena chuk de men wan ku ka nyoko te nyin hukuma ku ka yo kana lo na fazu mata jibana ndio gucho e man choko kene jolo lange hukuma o ka jien ku ka ngi jinu ko je kai wai ko ga dan kwa nya gene hukuma ako bo ka cham ni me ki chiri kene ku cha do fa dan chi fio mit e wachi mi o ken pin lo samum ke yin hukuma dan Junu Sudan ako be wede jolo ele e tan wo ki jing fadang ko ba ja lo na fasu a cha na go jing fadang go ku do go tin a go ko wune den kwan ku big dang a wa to hukuma ke ki chiro de ba la wel ku big tie da ban lo bi ka cham ni e kana yin hukuma da na Junu Sudan ta yo go dai ko kana wi ban ni ri a chan ke ye moto yo fio ke ya ka chiri ka ke kunun le fio ya ga lem ya ke ku cha ke ken ku cha ga be lo na fasu ke ka yo ma ka big lo ran cho ro nyang chok wala big lo ma lo nga wan chok wala big lo ran cho gar wi dal chok wala big lo ran cho to metri la chok so kene ne chuk wi in ke ko ben dukuri ko jing fadang kulel ko yin fadang kaji kulel ku du kada bu go du hukuma da ayen hukuma da ne yo condemn kurer ku yin in ke ko ya da kan ayin in ban da ne Junu Sudan e dial ngi wi in ke ko ro de ken e man tin chire bol la ko bati ne ko bing mo to ningi jing fadang cham nam ke we ja ke lui ka tuo kaman ko tuo won bagay protocol wani ka tan agendas wala for je wani ka tan allow them they have to be implement practically ago nyuo danu yin hukuma yin ka jo ke chab de fadang ku yin e wadu luel ka ye dia loy ti bitaw action kwa kene nke go joku witu dun ki government ta Junu Sudan ago ko wone kay we ke ci motonin ko ci ke be cham nim te den mit ko wone ro ci pioria ko bran bi kay we a chane na go kare ko ke na go loyel kene ci ro loy kene ci ro loy nu kuma to yin chu ye kare ro kare dia ne agenda skake ne ka jake lo mi implement yin kuma da na Junu Sudan e wede ka yo ke wede fada ko bu ke control na de ke da wone ro loy ci ran ko nda rebel ga ke ka chu ka jaay ke yin jing fadang e del ngi jinu yin ke bina target ka ku ye na ran cho ro nyang chu bu kwan cho ke cho ke no kwan cho ke ngo ye na de coordination ga ran cho Johnson lo ku Johnson lo ke ran lo le yin ke kai we e wed wi e u pin fadang na wi no mria a we don ge ni ran cho ga wi dwal ka ke ga re to ga Johnson lo ke ku no ma ya ke tre a kana ka mati a don ge pin lo le yin do re ben ku kinim go ba ti man ran e ran na gwe le kare ga we ene rana ne ban nun ya fanale don ge lo trust era na gwele kwa ke ga shik ban wegi ku ke ro lo ge yamin alu ke we toru ku ka gem gi information ku ye ne rana shal gar widwal ke gi ye ne ro nya ku ye ne ne wulen ku ja ye ne to material ke cho re bolo van Junu Sudan a che to mat strategy den number 1 ko big lo ke big lang no oil and big lo attack we kene aye ku ngi potential ko jing fadang ke civil population da ene lui target to yin jeng fadang dunu ni ere yin tok ku yin ku mo ta jinu Sudan a fil dang ma nyoga jwakti ako kula maninin jongi jinu jing Padang ke loyal ku ke patriotic citizen won ke mendu ke jo ko yin fi jinu Sudan ayo ke jo wujinu yin ku mo Ariel jo be taw ke Ariel taw ka chin because ke ka bem nyugo defend ku ke ka be territory ina ben defend lakin ina Padang be palwe ka chem yo chin e ka unte ke ko ku jila tong bi ke mu e kene alim ko ye tudu inu kum ta jinu Sudan a che ka un wel mo tonin ke wike ke wuju ke fa o wi ka unte binen nyo chin ago kene ago ara yom nyin chen e kene inu kuma we jongi jinu Padang ke ko une ko jin e ke jobe lo ke bigdi a chan bi tu bi ngi ja tanya dik lakin nya ka jobe fan agriel bi kinde tong bi kinde ko then ke ran na dur dar ne nyo to wa dur ko ka taw ko tin ku kala bi dang wel to ko chi man te chi Wilson en kon queen chi man te chi brother to ne chuol chen kon queen ka chiri ka ke aloy kro wa yin kuma don gelo le yena Padang ka ko fal ki yebet e ken ke ladem bidiel lo na faz o wi kiri riel go Padang ago tutui ago ya da fa ayi wonu te ga to ka une ko ju kuma e ladem ya da fa ka yugo go jingi e lu ga fraud ko jingi Padang because 100% okay men do kuma bata jinu Sudan une jingi je ban man ko tingene je man e kay tore kenade yi ban pa na president itself da de ko un ga ka ke ko un ke we dang wel to ke pride kana la bin ne ade de jin kiri mi yari kwa yin Padang e chat ki tanam nyal ku duon ge ku mo fi lakini ngera nan fe gule chana fi jinu Sudan e kam mo jida ku yin Padang ci ala bi mo ku ngo ke wan ni jine nu yin ne ko jiga nu ku yin ci da nu ne la ko gabdang fat ku ka je we ge ne de ku e kene nge ge miro ko nga ke o pinga da o ge unique ko ne ko wa no kon ben la bi de wan ku le ko we ko opposition wone lui la bi de wone activist man taw ten e la bi de den yi woni chol yi dot yi kre yi jonkor a chi wuj bi ga jam ka ko yi ku ka chi ku cha ku wuj ba ga pin keden ku ka cha ku wuj ba report a loy le ke tem gi communication ke because we ke lo intercepted communication is being listening to so we ke le we cha bam nan taw di tui lang no le rie ke jing Padang loy gi communication loy ke kat e activist ke bada opposition a chan ke cha de rebel ka ke una ye hukuma en bela yugunu we ke jam ke ko ja activist ke hukuma jam go ke ku dunne ye complicated woni ke wana na de ke dal we ka ke yin ko jing Padang-Media abu bel wel bi jo kwa we ko baga watch out nga wan chogen men o la video lo ni wan kwa chule we opposition activist media platform nya ke to kre Padang ni de ke duon lia fi rebellion lo ke du okay we support do lakini chu ban appreciate anyway ironically and bu ke appreciate but ke choke ke gam choke ke karanga na chi lo politicide so all be work instigated bu no mu way work the affiliation a rebel large mouthpiece can get off social media so we don't want that so klo kunu ko jing Padang we are trying to be politically correct buga politically smart so what okay ki yok to gmt ko wi bi ti adin ko bi ga ngi ji ye te den ko dal mo to no ni jing Padang dunir yoy na ye sha e kan jo ping ke den dalen gu ye jo luil kitchen gobrio ke yin ngori yoy ko yol jo gor ki re juba o media de jing Padang o ki ryo de che ga yen gu chupu jo ba ko le ko dil yo ki ko le ku yen ki ke ne chi Padang chin nya ku ka yin ban du ne ni ga di ba du ye ngo ke chan ba cha du ba be ko ban ne ke cha de ran ko ji yen ping en ke ri la pe lakini chi en ping ma ke yen mi ko chen cha bi ku ken ke ya bot ka from the political perspective ka yo ke cha de so yen jam dia ba gur ba nen gur we ba ke lim ko ko ke media os ba nyok ji tong de english ku bi lo ka ni ran te che ping tong jien ba dak kalas ka yo ka chin gi dun bu ko ne la no ka yo ka ji to ke
la na kan bi ji a chan bu ngi ji nu wo ko chi jam sa ga ju ni
o a cho le chi ya bi le chi kwen bi ju no rodi
e na ja ti de ga bi man
ana ba won ga le da ye ka ping but I assume that no chi kwen bi
Abiel in a mute, into mute.
No, lata akan ku kwen da na taba na akan ku karan akan ku tawa je da akan ku tawa public.
Ayla ako abu queen.
Kalas kene go tinga ya go kwen bi ku bu
Yeah,
be
kwen bi.
raja
Ai
on
kon
ba.
bi ko be English dai, shin mishila.
Ya ai won yoga ni e cha kwen ta to ngi din ga ka won. Ya no
Ya
go
yana
ngi
yana
ne
jam
bi.
basically standing ka wani kage point ai.
Kala da ba kwen bi chanin branen fa ben le de ya ke bi krang bi de exactly e ngi mo ku bi ngi no yes kid ning tieng krang i ten ba le ve ling de ran la ke jam ma dol ba go krang
I yen kor ke na kan ye ko la wo jam ma ku tin so.
de ran de comment in jatin ke ni
Yeah,
jatin
we
ke ne wadin
bear
e wadin te kwen ke lo charo
just bear with us. We are going to read out the letter because so you can know that we are not just talking out of blue. The letter that we are talking about it is going to be read out. For those who don't have an access with the internet, they may not find it. It is not easy. If you don't have internet, you cannot get it. So it's going to be read out in order that to make sure you understand what we are talking about.
abiela de ko won ki lo pass kana ko de order of the papers paper number 1
Order yana mishila chiro ku loilan order.
achiro lo mix en ke yanin krang ai
Yeah, lan order the first
so
thing
ke wurwa da le balo lingun te ki wilton kenin chi
I will be around Queen and Lynn again, better meet Queen.
yeah
Ayo.
oh no e kre krang jala ba nya e kre en ti ge yo bai akwaj be kre gar wijwal be martin chan kre gar wijwal e so fo bu jam yen wan lekin a chuk ben krang wan
Queen Kerrigan, but Kirka, we for a
okay ladies and gentlemen, I would like to present to you the article we are talking about right now. And this is the very article that we came live at Jing Padang so that we can actually condemn it. So we took this opportunity mainly to come and vehemently condemn the political recruitment or mobilization attempt by General Rolnyang to mobilize the Jing Padang to join his rebellion. So this is totally unacceptable, and we will never be part of those rebel groups. So let me go ahead and read to you this article posted on Nyamapildia media outlet. Press release by Major General Stephen Boy Rolnyang, July 3rd, 2021. Important message to my beloved people of Reng, Malut, Akoga, Ngo, Baliet, and Korplus, Cholo, Maban, Komi, respectively. Generally, the people of Afanal state as a whole, that do not fear any unfolding situation in Afanal, and I reassure you that there will be no tribal war in our country, particularly in Afanal region. This is your war for a regime change. It is a war of national consensus because the current regime has failed to fully implement the revitalized peace agreement and failed to provide vital services to the people and build the capacity of urban and rural communities so that they are able to transform their own life through effective participation in the management of their own social, economic, and environmental objectives. The oil in Upper Nile is enough to provide basic services to all the people of South Sudan if it is utilized and managed properly. For instance, the current major highways being rapidly constructed from Juba were supposed to be constructed starting from the oil producing areas, like from Reng through Malakal, Bor, and to Juba, and from Bantu through the Warab and Lake to Juba. You cannot milk somebody cow from Reng and drink it milk in Juba, leaving the owner in limbo and with nothing. This is the war for rightful ownership. Hello?
Yeah, we are with you. Go ahead.
Oh, it's kind of like there is an echo. I don't know. A Ben Tidy or a Ben. Okay, let me go ahead. This is the rightful war for rightful ownership, and I urge you to stand with us in this fight to the end. The only war remaining in the whole world now is the war of your own right before you die, and this is worth dying war for your right, because there are no hospital, a school, clean water, and road for you and your children. Yet the oil is right under your luck, and you do not benefit from it, output, while suffering from the oil-related diseases that deform newly born children and other forms of epidemic. We must liberate Upper Nile, Equatoria, and Bahr el Ghazal region and converge on Juba to install a democratic and federal system and choose your own leader through ballot based on his competency to rule, not tribal. Thank you. Major General Stephen Boy Rolnyang is a senior officer and a member of South Sudan United Front Army. He can be reached through his social media account. The statement, comment, opinion published by Nyamilepedia are solely those of their respective authors. We do not necessarily represent the view held by the moderators of the Nyamilepedia. The veracity of any claim made is the responsibility of the writers and not the staff and the management of the Nyamilepedia. Reserve the right to moderate, publish, or delete a post without warning or consultation with the authors. Okay, thank you. I think I have come to the end of the article. I think what we can do right now is to go ahead and analyze it one more time, especially in English or in Arabic. Brother Ton Chol, Chen go ben ni in Arabic win, who catch jam about a ngochirol nyankon railwa, low one, a daman one town in the areas of Jing Padang. So he and jam you get around very familiar with the area. He's very familiar in the area because he was the overall commanding officer of that division. So he's very familiar with the location or the geographical location of the land, the people, and their whereabouts, and every single county. And as Wilson said earlier, Jing Padang civil population in those respective areas mentioned, they were the ones that contribute to the forces that combine the regiment or the battalion that were deployed in Upper Nile as a whole. After majority of the tribe defected to join the rebel group, so Jing Padang actually deserved a monumental, appreciation and gratitude for the selfless services and dedication to defend the country against the rebellion. So when Rolnyang, General Rolnyang, when he was the overall commander of Sector 1, he was actually commanding most of the Jing Padang San that joined the military by the time. But as Brother Son Tuol mentioned earlier, we have also experienced at Jing Padang the exploitation by General Nyang during his tenure as a military command in the area. So this guy can never be trusted. So he's actually attempting to use the political manipulation and influence to try to recruit, mobilize the Jing Padang so that they can join his rebellion. This is totally unacceptable. Because this guy is being hypocritical in this case, because he rebelled for his own personal interest. He did not actually rebel for a national agenda of which people can actually trust and be part of it. So Jing Padang are people that can never be misled away by individual rebellion. Most of these rebel groups, they rebel for individual profit, For in the case of Gerald Johnson Woolen, he rebelled because of Jing Padang. And people know that. That's why we have been very vocally, very critical against his appointment. Garwidwal is actually doing the same thing. He's actually raised another agenda that he cannot come to Juba and be part of the revitalized peace agreement implementation simply because of what was done to his own people. So in other ways, he's actually he's tribally motivated as well. So his rebellion is actually a rebellion meant to revenge against what he alleged to have been done to his people in Juba. So that's why he's never going to accept to be part of the peace agreement. If it is about Malong Awan rebelled because of his removal from his position as the General Chief of Staff by the time. The same thing applies to General Rolnyang. He also rebelled because when he lost his rank in the military, when he was actually brought before the military tribunal and he was tried and stripped of his rank. So that's why he took up the rebellion. We cannot be part of those people like that. The same thing applies to Thomas Cirillo. He rebelled because of his regional interests. So where on earth do you expect anyone to join this kind of rebel leaders in their respective faction? We cannot be part of that as Jeng Padang because we believe in objective agenda, not individual interests. But we are strongly behind the government of South Sudan, and our people will never be part of any rebellion because they don't represent national interests. They represent respective either tribal, regional, or personal interests. So we will never be part of that. If there is anything that arises as a grievance to Jeng Padang, we will present it through democratic means, and that is to protest peacefully, like we did, and government listen to us. So what we will continue to appeal at Jeng Padang is to make sure government of South Sudan must actually implement practically in letter, in spirit, that this thing that they promised to the people of Jeng Padang, they must have to be implemented. Because Jeng Padang are loyal and patriotic people that never took up arms against the government, and they are solidly standing behind the government of South Sudan. So we are actually appreciative of the government for the recent resolution they took to listen to the voice of the Jeng Padang grievances. So this time around, we are affecting the government of South Sudan to make sure they implement those protocols signed with our popular protesters. So thank you very much. And to my people of Jeng Padang, please stay away from any rebellion and do not be in constant communication and contact with the opposition or rebel media outlet on social media. Thank you very much. I think we should actually come to the end of this program. Thank you very much. You can take it over there, Banya Coach, Banya Biel, Wilton. We check a late. Look for me?
Yeah, we will come into conclusion. Helene book ya 3 minutes ku book to kan woni min gamandang
I get Banya karang take around you and maybe check a book of a jump.
I quite how conclusion do we are Bielben to the
yeah. I would book a low check a chan.
Yeah, na ke jamu pai kanga yoko lo ka chaka wel ka ka second sometime now no de ko ga tau tin ta na ka ko ki ko problem yet pure. So what I'm saying, thank you Bill look kallo the things I haja under na the gul awal nina fi Padang-Media ne ana madere chan nadi boy rol nyang general lano shalo barra men dababir bataw shalo barra men already, and you guys all witness that. So lo rais ragaw shalo menum dababir manaw zo la biga shino makhalat biga civilian, right? Malong awan yaw mashi amul pretend gale rekabo back time. So we here I am urging you, don't call this guy general. I'm happy with the guy who wrote article here, Gal Boy Rolnya, Magal General Boy Rolnya, which is good. We should follow this one. So, man, I'm a mistake to do a title very important like this general. No. But then, Zolda is a very smart guy. Why I'm saying that? Lanu, you cannot go to the war without planning. Ita lo dat shakal mazul تكون عارف المحل بذات جيش تكون عارف المحلات كله وعارف ده منو بيجي معك ومنو ما بيجي معك. لكن بوي رول يعني لما كتب الورقه ده and he mentioned all these communities لانه خايف من these community وعارفهم يعني community دي شغلهم كيف عشان كده هم يتذكرهم كله في ورقه لكن هو خايف عشان يجي في محلات ده without awareness of these people هو داير نازل معهم لانه بدون نازل هو في خطوره لانه هو عارف المحل وعارف البليس وعشان كده ما في شاكل ساكت. حاجه ثانيه لما ننادوا جنرال وولينج ده قال جنرال لانه هو عمل تمرد بالدبابير بتاعه وخشبه غابه even though ما عنده تعليم وما مهم لقى دبابير حقه ده سلفكير ركبه هو قال بقى جنرال ومن هناك جنرال
طوري اورغو سلفكير جسد
اطوري اورغو ايوه انا عارف اطوري اورغو لكن ما رئيس ده جاء عمل نقد شال واحد برا ولا اثنين وثبت الباقي ديل مش عشان كده ولين لما يقول له جنرال هو بيستيق يقول له جنرال لانه ده بريزيدنت بتاع كونتري ياو عمل ابروف لرانك بتاعه اللي قاعد بيهم ده شفت عشان كده جنرال هنا ده بوي رول نيان ده از ا سمارت جاي هو خايف ما بقدر بيجي في برنا اللي باخد كورين وين وببدا كيف ذاته انا ما بمشي كثير لو زول داير يعمل ريفولوشن لو انت داير شاكل مع زول انا بقول لو داير نشاكل معك ما انا بخطط انا بلقى كيف وانا بخش كيف عشان كده الناسنا في ميديا ديل الناس اللي بتشوف باكنات بكتب حاجات هنا ده they are sharing two legs and they don't have the plan B or option. If you are against the government, okay, bring your option. What do you think? Nena sala man gaden kala mi ma gaden gulu ina wagin ma kuma 100% akuma mula haja no nena binugula haja derinu mana akuma ubinugula galat da akuma gadi amul lanu lesan fi kashu mataklo lo gadi shakal ma sunun ma bamru bara hu gade hagu da binte juwaina tape nena why we are encouraging the revolution without plan they not gonna be chubu kataba janda they are questioning her and they don't support the question her زول بيجي بسألنا هنا سؤالات ذات ما مفهوم عشان كده زول زي ده is laughing to himself يعني زول قاعد أضحك بنفسه وناس شايفين في الميديا هنا بنشوف ده منو قاعد يكتب حاجات زي ده انت انا يوم رتب يعني you shame yourself because we don't know where are you standing not maluda amul revolution nina deri not panaruza de amul revolution lo ma amul revolution okay kali amulo sign lena في maluda يعملوا بالمن ليه مهما لان ده كله مشكله واحد طيب انت زول اللي بكتب حاجات نيجاتيف ده again تسأل question لي أنا coach زول قاعد في media أنا I'm talking about all my people and then you question me again what do you mean by that anyway أنا بجيب هنا لكن راجل يكون عنده clear vision like جون جرام زمان خطاو clear جنا زامل لقلق في السكة وعمل لقلق وخلاو لما قلنا منو في نهاية وقع وخلط انتاو والسفينة ماشي لما هو مات فيها أنا كبر ده يوزول وايز ده يوزول بقوله جرا ولا ما جرا that is a good leader. Take our brother في United States or في أمريكا هنا وفي كندا بمنغ writing the comment cannot make sense. Where is your vision? And you are, by the way, you are a man. You can be a leader of the South Sudan, or you can start with your county, and then we can take you to the provincial level, and after provincial level, we can take you to the federal government, and there you can compete in with the Salva-Kiir Mayardit. So, and if you start nothing, my God, I don't know what to say.
Thank you very much. In chugle jai ka yok ter miza kai ko on te ke jinga padang un ti lo tai de opposition de ko ti lo di ko na ti jin ti lo ko ko because ne ulun ato ke rebel ko ke ulun ja pe ni jinga padang na wi achira la yin tieng ak de padang ninge gar wi dwal ki ke ranun tar elo le yen ti ko ken no ko juba wan ke den te ka yo ge ndedi ninge yen rol nyang ke den ti du bu ko twenye ko inge ke jen we when I am more long hour, I want you and ya get ship a general ship of stuff who can get on one young malu that who can give malado and chica padang think. I can keep rather ugly when Mr. Kaiko and take a padang. kwa yin we ko len jiro lo cha lo bet cha no lo ka chuk kurana ku yak de bi ku ni di zadro pin bi ni ku ye jam in twa fada in ge lo bulu e hukuma dane e ku le ku kana ka jo ku yin ai ka da che thing man wan ji ko lo cha nam last year ka da che thing a che be thing man ka bu ge lo fu ti man wan to ga ten we da kai ko wan ke ge lo ma dara ka ke o ka ji ke gan 100% ai ben go kana ke wan na go ban ayi na lada de ngor ko ka ko bu jo le ke ni kala twen ni hukuma ni lui kene na fadu ti man rebel ko bi ke wel ni me chan ke lo yuzu o ki kon lo rebel o bu ko hukuma de ko ge confident hukuma be kene abi lo na fadu wa yin men kai da no te again the position ni jinga pada ina ko chol na ye ko ben forum na ni kin bo lakini ko ba ga ben la video akira ande chol yi messenger la dum ran bi ben la video go pada ngo yin tinga ya yin ngara kwa don ge lo te a chi be wi je forum wo ka kale ku jamda abla gidam chale ban biel be dam to ten wala wilton
yena pet the bill look in challenge kai kwan ke dai wo ke le ben wilson ben ko ke mod ma te ga jalon ter ku ja ke sharp ta jing padang. You guys have tuned in, you have listened to the topic of discussion, we have heard our appeal to our people, can be worked about specifically to condemn this article by Boy Rolnyang for appealing to Padang community to join his armed rebellion, for the quest of regime change. We have made it abundantly clear to him and to other armed rebel group that Padang will not join an armed rebellion because we had enough of turning guns against ourselves. We are a peace-loving community. We'll be standing behind the government of President Kiir to make sure that the current peace agreement is implemented and the people of South Sudan enjoy the fruit of the independence by having a development initiative that can be done in the area of Jeng Padang and all South Sudan elsewhere. Yes, this is an opportunity that the government, the rebel want to utilize, that there's no development in South Sudan, there's no services in South Sudan. But when they were part and parcel of that government, they did not have a gut to question the same system in which they actually were participating in. They participate in looting the property, they participate in bundling of resources of the people of South Sudan. And when you find yourself out of picture, you come again to the surface and say, I'm actually for the regime change because the government have failed to provide services. Yes, there are legitimate reasons why people of South Sudan have a right to call this government into action so that they can develop the country, so that they can have a developmental goal, so that they can actually make sure that people of South Sudan enjoy the fruits of freedom, the fruit of independence. Having a country alone cannot be used as a way of being fraud, but having a services, having a better road, having a better school, having a better hospital, that if you are sick, you'll be treated. Dealing with the issue of environmental pollution in oil producing area. These are the things the government that can actually put in place. And now we have seen, the road construction that is actually taking place, but the road alone cannot be enough for government to say that I'm actually working for development. You can actually, use a lot of things to develop at the same time. You can build hospital at the same time. You can have internal construction in the state, in the counties, in Payam at the same time. But focusing on this road alone cannot justify SPLM as a mean of giving people the services. We need more in South Sudan so that your shortcoming cannot be utilized by the rebellions or by anyone that is not happy about what the government is not doing enough. And we are urging our people that if you rebel out of hunger, that means you were not having intention actually to campaign for better service of people of South Sudan. All this rebellion, the rebel leaders that are currently today trying to blindfold people of South Sudan, that are rebelling because of the government failed shortcoming. They did not rebel because they were they rebelled because they were unhappy. They were rebelled because they were removed from the position. And this alone cannot be enough for you actually to blind full and say, I'm going to be supporting or going after them. We can only go after someone that is unanimously rebel for the legitimate change cause for people of South Sudan. And people of Padang are strong communities. I say earlier that we are strong enough to command our own rebellion. We are strong enough, to confront that government if we feel that they are not, going to give service to our people. But what we are asking is this: while we're having this peace agreement, let us support the peace agreement, with questioning the government to make sure that the area of Jane Padang are being given services. The reasons memorandum of understanding that was signed, the agreement that was signed by the people of Greater Malut need to be implemented, and we will come back not this week but next week actually to see. We'll bring members of the civil society organization team in the same social media here, and we'll ask him what has been implemented. We need to keep these people into defeat so that we cannot just sit silent here and make sure that we are the voice of our people. Yes, the government have signed that agreement with them, but we need to be part of follow-up. We say earlier also, we'll bring this the commissioner, not to ask him about what happened, but to ask him about his actual involvement to make sure that what was being signed by the people of Malut need to be implemented. I'm just to the people of Jeng Padang here, the leaders, Ben Wilson Wall, I myself, and a coach and the team, Brother Billy Luke and the Matektek, the media host. Let us work to bring maybe next week, but the week after will be maybe 3 weeks after now, so that we'll come and ask them. The organizing, the members of the
Great
organizing.
idea. Yeah, we need a constant follow-up.
Yes, so, need to be brought here so that we can ask them what the government is doing now to implement that agreement. And we also will ask the commissioner, what is he doing to make sure that the government also, as a government, to make sure that he's implementing in the local jurisdiction in which he is actually the commissioner of Malut, that what has been signed between the government, which is witnessed by the state government and the national government and the civil society, is being implemented. We need to bring them here and let us work for it to find the contact of the commissioner so that we'll talk to him about it, and then we'll agree, we'll bring him here to address his people of Greater Malut and also the South Sudanese, that yes, the government is working so hard to be able to implement the agreement. For being said that, I have nothing much to say, but my last appeal to our people is that we are not going to be part of the Bol Ronyang call of armed rebellions. We have made this abundantly clear that our main objective is to make sure that people of South Sudan are given a chance to have a peaceful form, principle of government, which is through a democratic, vote. Thank you very much, Ben Wilson. Well, you can close our show as the last person, and then Kabilwele can say it, but we have to take it off from there. We congratulate the viewers, Jeng Padang-Media. Thank you and have a good night, good evening, wherever you are.
I adik abial, but before fitting go jal, ade kitang ni luin pen te bande mabarat kon ke mi ke Jeng Padang no do jubo fundraising ako balo we kene ako be communities ko biga act be kene ko bu loy video deal go fundraising balo a chan na go lead down kan bi ni chok ta pinya dik bi la twing at the same time and cultural day biga gen conclude la beta we can make a unity to Padang we promote be the level. So yen a good year for book again gate. Can be quite coin parading. Okay, we are all live video, oh, quite on, Oklo Londa. A cook, Bran, Kin, Tin, and a buy. The king where will see them with young Padang no Nurako, which are will sub community leaders. So I you will Madela tonight that be a part of the topic let the one of the main topic ujila jampi fundraising low ke ko sub community leaders lazim big cooperation way by them for that which can lead ndi ke ba mati before video ke kan go conclude ban we kon mula twin
Wilson, you mute yourself. Wilson, you mute yourself.
Sorry, and Chira mute. And then,
Yeah, Gamian 1 minute that Banyton.
no,
No, I check about thing. I think we will correct in the comment.
Yeah, go ahead.
I chokron leka by Wilson. Taban kuwi balu corrected. Akuma dan Canada na emoksuma la talada. Angi ya biel lebe biel queen. Ade municipal government which is yene for yene county level. Kode provincial which is yene walaiya the Arabi. Kode federal. Federal yene nga yene mugi naida. Te biya na chalwele no gal raande yelin alabi kwangi ye county level ke ye commissioner kuna lo jalo commissioner kala balo provincial yene nga alabi la malakala ni provincial kuna federal ke ya state kade ngo wrong tin u akwachira anto god gal kimu ni provincial fi South Sudan kane yina biya alo ba jolo ko rag yina na kimu ni provincial government na chak de ke iso ke alo bu kolwe
I in Latin English is our second language. So when you convert the terms, it still make the same things. United States call counties. And in Canada, the county are not called counties. State are called state. In Canada, they are called province, right?
Yeah.
So all these so-called democracy government in the Western world, they are categorized in 3 levels. So there is no
problem. In terms the British, because the British term, you know, American term, so they use the state. But at the same time, a cheap mix between Canada. So this
you are muted.
All right. Kika balwelo wati almem wo ko jitin. Bade ne chakting in mandan gat taban. Kida kon leg jeng padang ko jayru dit ko wo man yo benetin wo ki channel akuma. Na yera no wo benetek ke wo chida kuma de dekin mana you are making mistake. Lim yok ben ko enen elim de pada. E wahde kan. Na taw yera an rebel, then you can have your own show and condemn the government. Be a penny. You have own right to do your crime. Lakini can government bana challenge. Abial adegal you are unmute yourself. You are mute. You are unmute.
Aya yo badil jam ngara pe.
Oh randang okay. Oh abe aya yo chi wona dil you ba ko bi ben jam. Ene wona wela bi gal. Wo chi dia jam ran pan ko taban. Wo gal bu jam ran direct man jam mo kan. Kika balwel when it Padang, but I rejoin when a kitchen near Peter Wood, we call diamond in the Padang. Now they are acting good, but the channel can look a bit rebel. Alabag de la convene look at one chicken. Lake Yanakan channel can a chase spoke channel with a gum. A jing the Padang, in Padang when we are big. Yakina they ran a judgment that we could disrespect or because they undermine. Government, we are not the government employees. We are the community leaders. But then we can end up book a block. It's not that far. If you are against this channel, you don't get against. We are not a government channel. Here until with government, you need to open your own show and then continue with government. I just be a question in Namrai. Lakina channel did with Padang in Yinko Ben attack. Like the members with Padang, I don't think that makes sense. Because you know, you cannot be agency of the rebel at the same time you want to act as a son of Padang. No. But the rebel rebellion, like him to use challenge.
They can Wilton. The color is jam. Like him to go
channel Akuma. A kiri jeng Padang willing kakin. Period. So na kora kuma batek terror krangu. Ba yen ken ekala de ko in conclusion yen wati kaji da chake will fa yen ayu go ko jitin wo ni mamad ba den But nyok with bank sub community to North America will be bigger mad, but 2 hours or 3 hours from now, which is 8 to the Washington and it's 5 now. So 6, 7, 8, 3 hours. So we will join. Topic will be announced during that show. We say a lot of things. So the topic of today was congratulations to some of the holiday that we all read out. And then the main topic was condemnation of the letter that written by Boy Rollinger. That's what Padang need to be stay away from all this rhetoric of the rebel. That's what we were saying. We take a late with Padang, we got again, I'm quite warning, quite Padang, there are no challenge. And I got an agenda the Padang being Yakuma by Nyoke. Work just a community level who are a voiceless, which are the voice of the community. You raise the voice of the government. By any kind, we can block you simply because for the children we entertain. I don't entertain those criticisms. Some of us they were not become politicians in Facebook. We studied practically somewhere here in the United States for the last 6 years. I was working in the SPLM National Secretariat in the United States here. So we practice how the politics work. And not just in the Facebook. And that's why you see us, we will have a different level. But then, don't underestimate people. We may be the intelligent, but each person of us have his own intelligence in a different way. So calling people, mind, they are not a small mind, whatever. You can be a big mind, like who cares? Do your own business. Small mind will do according to the small mind. Respect to Iran, but do not challenge us, challenge us. I'm a coach, we take a little what you would do. Damanicella, we will be you, that's sure.
Thank you.
I'm quite a little.
There are any data to buy back who call you.
No, you're gonna be.
I dig a pay. Will you call you? Then go to your person.
I'll be unmute yourself while they'll talk on the call. I know we've been looking at